Hello. Like I say, my name is Invalid Mix, and welcome to another Challenge Help Theory video. Today we will be discussing the Ninja Challenge. Yes, I did have this theory video up, but it wasn't ideal because, like I say, when I was recording, I wasn't very well. I'm still not, but I was also very tired at the time of recording it, and it made it fairly poor quality. I know I can do a better version, and that's why I'm re-recording it now. So yes, today's video is of course the Ninja Challenge, which is get 5 clutch medals while defusing the bomb when you are the last player alive and enemies are alive in search and destroy. So this means you have to be the last person on your team, and there has to be at least one person left alive on the opposing team. This challenge is very difficult for two main reasons, and before I cover class and everything like that, I want to cover these two reasons, and they simply are your team and the opposing team. Your team's mentality and the opposing team's mentality. And these two things make this challenge so hard to achieve. So there's two ways in which you can win this complete this challenge. Not complete this challenge, win the game of search and destroy. And they are of course killing everybody in an opposing team, or successfully planting and blowing up the bomb, or of course defusing the bomb. So, if your team is really good and you're playing with randoms and you're only person on, if your team is really good, you'll find a lot of the time that you won't get the chance for the clutch medal because there'll be a lot of players left on your team alive, or you'll just simply have all the enemies wiped out all the time. And of course, in this situation, you've got no chance of getting the clutch medal. And the reason I've gone to this page is, as you can see, my KD ratio is fairly high in this game mode. My win rate's pretty good at nearly 2%. And after I got the challenge completed for the mastery card and completed the Ninja Challenge, I didn't play any more games. So as you can see, my win record and loss record is 300 and odd games. And of course, this means that when I've completed this challenge, it took me over 300 games. Admittedly, I didn't start actually going for this challenge until I had completed the first 50 wins and completed the challenge for wins. So if you take off wins and there's about say 15-20 losses on top of that, we can say it took me about 250 games in order to complete this challenge. And I want you to understand this could be a realistic number that it takes for you to achieve this challenge. So with that said, like I say, your teammates skill and your opposing teammates, your enemy's team's skill affect this, as well as their mentality. If your teammates play aggressively and go for wiping out of the opposing team and they're good, you're not going to get a chance. If your team is terrible and they get wiped out and you end up having to deal with 6 people, it can make getting this challenge completed incredibly hard, but not impossible. I'll get onto that in a little bit. Of course, then you've got the enemy team. The enemy team you have no control over. You can play with friends to control your team, but the enemy team you cannot get any control over unless you're boosting, which I do not approve of. So the enemy team, if they're good, they can wipe out your team and leave you the last one alive, like I say, and this can make it really hard to achieve. But there's also the mentality where you get the people who will grab the bomb and stand at the back in their spawn and never go to plant, and this will make it impossible for you to get this challenge done as well. And this has occurred to me in several dozen games, and that's why it's taken me as long as it has to achieve. So with that said, let's quickly move on to the class setup as well as the strategies that you have in order to complete this challenge. So first up, this is the class that I ran for completing this challenge, and the only parts which are actually important are the perks. The perks, Sixth Sense, can be very useful, as it will allow you to see when enemies are nearby, and if you're doing one or two of the strategies, this is very, very useful in order to achieve them. Hardwired, of course, keeps shock charges and trip mines, which are plenty in this game mode, as well as Sixth Sense and Track Cut, which are very, very common in this particular game mode as well, and it'll help keep your footprint and tracking everything a little bit harder to detect, so it's very useful. And that's the same reason we're doing Dead Silence, as well as the fact that Dead Silence does reduce the noise you make when you're disarming the bomb. If you're not running Dead Silence and somebody's using awareness, they will hear you pressing the keys. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm, like I said, not very well, and a little bit of acid reflux there. It will also reduce the noise you make when disarming the bomb. If you're not running this and you disarm the bomb and somebody's running awareness, they can hear the blip, 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 blip as you're doing it from fairly far away. And of course, they will make it so they can stop you fairly easily. So running this is very useful when doing this particular challenge. And of course, if you do have a gaming center, as I always say, run awareness. You will be anyway, but do so. The rest of this class is completely optional. I ran smoke screen mainly just to deal with snipers, because if I throw it towards where the snipers are, they have to hardscope rather than quickscope, and of course that makes it very hard for them to hit me, because most of them can't hit anything when they're forced to hardscope. Okay, so basically that's the class that I ran, and it made it fair. I absolutely rocked it with this class. In most games, I did brilliantly, so it's a very good class to run while doing this. There are two specialists, of course, as well that can help you achieve this challenge. First up is kinetic armor and battery, and simply pop this when you know when an enemy is about to come into the room when you're already disarming, and you can pop this whilst you're disarming, and of course it will give you that bit of extra time in order to defuse the bomb. The other particular specialist ability is, of course, Spectre's active camo. Is it make you invisible? So if you're lying down near the bomb disarming, they might overlook you because you are invisible. I never actually managed to successfully do it with either of these abilities, but of course, the one time I almost did it with the battery's kinetic armor, they did realise I popped the armor and they moved up and shot me in the head, which kind of made that kind of pointless having kinetic armor on. But once again, it can work, so just bear these in mind. Now, there are a few strategies, and I'm going to quickly cover these in order to give you the best chance at understanding what these are, and so you can give them a try when this situation arise, because every single one of these strategies is situational, as I said, because of the way the mentality of the opposing team and your team works, as well as their skill level. So the first, of course, is provided to me by one of my subscribers, Scrubbing, and I will link the video in the description below. It's got one little video on this that way does the method, but it doesn't achieve a clutch medal because there is one other teammate alive at the time when he does this. But if I've seen other people doing this in games when I've been dead and watching them, and it can and does work, so just bear this in mind and just find the spots where people do hide to achieve this challenge as you're playing, and you will be able to achieve this challenge in this method if you like. And that is the hiding method. You find a little bit of spot where you can hide and make yourself almost invisible, and as soon as you see it, and then make sure you're near one of the bomb sites. As soon as somebody plants the bomb, just pop quickly out as soon as they've moved and get the defuse. But you have to make sure you're the last person alive when you do this, otherwise it will not count towards this challenge. Check out Scrubbing's video to see him achieve this, so you have a rough idea and a better idea of how to achieve this particular method. The next method, of course, is skill-based, and this revolves around score streaks. Score streaks I was running, of course, if you watch the practical video, are these, and that's because this method I managed to do once or twice with a few of the diffuses. Basically, both turrets and drop them either side of the bomb site, blocking the enemies off from coming towards me while I'm defusing the bomb. And of course, this will allow you to get a clutch medal because you're basically relying on the turrets. But this is heavily skill based because you have to be able to earn the score in order to run these these score streaks. So bear that in mind. If you've got the confidence and the skill to earn these, do so, and it can make getting the clutch medals fairly easy to do. If you don't feel like you can earn up to a harder century, just run a care package, and of course hope you get one of the two turrets in that, if you can earn a care package. So like I said, this one's fairly skill based, but once you've achieved the two turrets, you can achieve the clutch medal much easier. So with that said, there are two other methods which I'd like to cover quickly. The first one is duking an enemy. Like I said, I've done this once before. I've cleared out, I was the last person alive, there was 6 enemies alive. I picked off 5 of them, and I somehow managed to jump up towards a window, but not actually go through the window, just sort of double jump near it. And of course, he managed to, I think, and I got up to the window, and I landed, quickly ran in, defused the bomb while he was running around upstairs trying to find me to finish me off. But this one, of course, is very luck based. If your opponent is an idiot like this guy was, you can achieve the challenge with this method. So just bear that in mind. And a good example of these are the 360 no-hopers. I mean, no-scopers. You'll see them jumping around, trying to do the 360 no-scopes in the games all the time. If you ever see them, don't shoot them, don't kill them, leave them alive, because they will be very useful for achieving this challenge. The last one, of course, is the method that I pull off during my practical video, so the link will be in the description below, so check that out. But basically this relies on the teammate being a distraction and distracting at least one enemy. You can do this easily with a friend, as well as if you know what the behaviour of your teammates and their opponents are like. And basically you use your friend, if you're playing with a friend, to act as a distraction away from the bomb site to keep one enemy busy while you kill the enemy that's probably stationed at the bomb site and defuse the bomb as soon as the person on your team hopefully dies. If it's your friend, you can get them to die when you like, but if it's a random, just you have to hope that they die. And if you watch my practical video, that is what happens. So these are the methods which give you the best chances of achieving this, but unfortunately, like I say, as long as you've got no control over the enemy team, there is very little you can do to guarantee yourself getting a clutch medal, and it is very luck based. And I do wish you the best of luck. Just bear these methods in mind and give it the best shot you can, and be patient with the challenge, as it's not something that you'll achieve instantly. This has been Mix. Take care, good luck, and have fun.